Welcome, Chosen One.
Hey guys, welcome to the Ace of Plays channel and to a brand new, what I hope to be, a long-running video series. Today I am proud to present the first episode of Custom Card Review. Card Review. So yeah, I am a big fan of creating custom cards and seeing other people's custom cards, and there are a few rare posts on Reddit every now and then, but I really wanted to bring up the custom card creation community. That's a lot of C's. That's 4 C's. Wanted to bring it up, give it a platform to shine on, and because I myself would like to participate more in this community, I figured why not do it in a video series on my channel. So a few weeks ago I made a video asking you guys to send me custom cards, and I was hoping for maybe a handful, but I think I got 25 or so, which is really amazing. So thank you to everyone who participated. I will not be showing all of them today. Like I said, I got a lot more than I expected, so we have at least one more video. Thank you. We have at least one more video with just the cards that have been sent already, but I highly encourage everybody to keep sending cards, and we can make this maybe a bi-weekly thing, monthly thing, we'll see. But yeah, if you want to know how to send the custom cards, just stick around till the end and I will go over all that information then. But now let us get into the custom cards, because I've been blabbing on for too long. Okay, the first card I have to show you today is Footman of the Flaming Rose. This is one of several cards sent to me on Discord by Foltest the Great, so King Foltest himself. To support a new archetype that they've created, they've even included a new keyword, which is Faith, which says that whenever you play a cleric, boost self by 1. And they've added a couple of clerics later on, which we will see. But apparently, Prophet Leviota and what's it called, Nathaniel Bestodi or whatever from the dual faction cards are clerics, and will synergize with this archetype. So Footman of the Flaming Rose is a 3-strength unit. We don't know the provisions, but that's not that important. It has Faith, and deploy damage an enemy unit by 2. If it is a monster, damage it by 4 instead. Now, I'm not a huge fan of abilities that just specifically target a single faction. If you're against monsters, then this guy is insane. Just straight up kills a Slizzard. Whereas other matchups, it doesn't really do much. Otherwise, I do like this card though. I like the Faith keyword. I think it's really cool, because of how it allows you to, have cards that have their effects, but then you also get a little bit of boosting every now and then when you play, clerics and shit, because these guys are obviously very religious, and when you start bringing in the clerics, strengthening their faith, they fight even harder. So that aspect I really like. I don't know if I'm a fan of the whole targeting a specific faction. Alright, moving on. I'm sorry if that last cut seemed a little bit weird. I was having some issues, but it's all been solved. This next card also from Foltest the Great. Another card for this Flaming Rose archetype. Well, actually, a little bit. It has Faith. But this is also more focused on the Knight archetype, which he also wanted to, strengthen. This is Siegfried of Denesle, so maybe related to Ike in some way. It's a 4-strength Knight. It has Faith, which I like. Deploy on the melee row, boost all allied knights by 1. So definitely a late round card for a knight archetype. Just really getting a payoff for playing that specific tag. An order on the melee row: if you control 3 or more knights, destroy the highest enemy unit. Potentially a strong ability, of course. In Foltest, this card could be massive, because you just give it Zeal and just destroy the highest enemy unit, which is something Foltest can already do, basically, with Godrow Dim. So it's not like this card is, Like that, the specific ability is massively insane, but I don't know. This would be a high provision card, but in the right deck, this could be just the finishing blow that takes the game away for you. So Siegfried gets a thumbs up from me. Now we have Sienna, which she already exists in the game as a neutral card, but here we have her as a Nilfgaard card. Now I don't know much about the lore, so I'm just going to assume that this makes sense. It probably does. She's a 1 strength unit. She's supposed to have a gold border, but the creator forgot to add it in. And the creator is Praise Be the Great Sun, also on Discord. Very active on Discord, so I'm a big fan of that person. She has the order of forcing an allied unit to duel an enemy unit. Now her body's weak, and she's in a faction where getting Zeal is not that easy. But her ability is pretty insane. Being able to give any one of your allied units duel, like your 13 strength Tibor, for example, this could be worth a lot of points. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Like this, the ability is really cool. It really fits with like the art, where looks like she's like a tactician, like manipulating the board and being like, "Yep, you're gonna die," something like that. Ability really cool, and really strong. So the 1 strength body makes sense, but probably too fragile to ever see play, unfortunately. But I could be wrong. This could be worth playing. What's it called? The potion that gives Zeal. Could be worth it. Next up, also from Praise Be the Great Sun, is Geralt Oxy. A lot of people are wanting to see more of the Witcher signs in form of Geralt cards, and this is one of them. It's a 2 strength, 13 provision, so definitely in line with the Geralt theme. This one is more expensive than all the other Geralts, though. Order sees a unit whose strength is half of this unit. Now the problem with this card is not the flavor. From what little I've played of The Witcher 3, this does make a lot of sense for the Axii sign. But seizing a unit whose strength is half of this unit, like for this card to be worth its provision, you would at least have to steal like a 5 or a 6, and then this would have to be like at 10 or 12 strength. So there would have to be some changes to this card, just number-wise, but the ability is really cool. I enjoy the flavor of this card, and the art is also very cool. It has like a different art style, which I think one should do more of. Like I know they're all going for the more realistic type, but you could get a little bit artistic in there. So I love the idea of this card, but the numbers need to be tweaked, and like the half strength, I don't think that will work just because of how much you would have to boost this. But yeah, cool card. I really like it. Moving on to a new card creator, Karglin. Also on Discord. Join the Discord, link below. This is Raymond Marloeve, or Marlove, a human agent for Syndicate, 8 provisions, 4 strength, profit 4, and a fee 4 on the ranged row. Poison a unit with a cooldown of 1. The cooldown definitely should be there. Being able to poison something for 4 coins. Obviously, you need 2 poisons to kill something, but Syndicate has cards that just poison on deploy without having to pay money. So potentially this could be a nice way to combo with that to set up some big kills. And if you have a bounty on something, then you can just pay 4 to kill something with more than 4 base power, and then you make money. So I definitely like this card. Syndicate as well as Scoia'tael and Nilfgaard actually are trying to pull out these poison archetypes. None of them feel like they're really there yet, so adding more cards to that is definitely cool. Now I'm not a balanced champion, so I can't really tell if this is balanced or not. But right off the bat, I would say this is definitely in the ballpark of balanced. I don't know if it's too weak or too strong, but I don't think you will need to do a lot to make this card maybe actually see some play without being hated on Reddit. Our next card comes from Gorg Donuts, who sent this to me via email. This is Rally Point, which is an artifact for Northern Realms. Deploy, shield, and boost adjacent units by 2. Order: after 3 or more allied units are played, spawned, or summoned on this row, damage all units on the opposite row by 1. If the leader was used during this turn, damage the highest enemy unit by half instead. That's a lot of text. But the guy who sent me this did give a small explanation of why this card is the way it is, and you know, the flavor behind it. And it's basically like, it's a rally point. Like, you put this down, and then, you know, your troops are rallying around this point, and they get shielded and boosted. You know, they come together, and then once, you know, you've amassed, you know, enough of an attack force, you know, you either go charging in, you're damaging everything by 1, because like you're charging in a line, or if you use your leader, you know, then you're like, okay, let's go for the big boy, and everybody goes to the big boy and damages the highest enemy unit by half instead. I personally love cards with a lot of text. That they just make for some really cool, flavorful, synergistic, you know, just really fun cards to play. I really like this card, actually. I like the idea of like a rally point being an artifact. Maybe it's not an artifact in that sense, but like it could be just like a banner that you stick in the ground, like this is the rally point, and I think that qualifies to be an artifact. So I really like this card. Great work, Gorg Donuts. Now for this next one, I probably have to zoom in a little bit. Presumably this was created on a PC. In my experience, when you go on what's it called, like the Gwent card generator site, whenever I make cards on mobile, on my phone, and then download them,